Welcome to the Pick Six Show, the live Pick Six Show. Let's try it again. Take it easy says audio is good. Audio is good. Sorry, you guys, you're good now. Okay, sweet. Sorry, big apologies to everybody. Back live. Something went wrong with our audio. But those of you who stuck around are my real friends. Welcome to the Playoff Drive Live Pick Six Show for the $50,000 Pick Six contest. I will be joined by DJ Big Boss and the Big Ragoo here shortly, the boss in the sauce. DJ Big Boss is now in 46th place in the Pick Six contest. Respect for DJ Big Boss. I made a what I think is a big move. I did not make any picks yet. I've done the audible. I've made no bets in NFL. When I was going live with you guys, I was doing fine in the Pick Six contest. When we were breaking down the plays together, it was going fine. It has stopped going fine. I poured a little something in my cup. I'm ready to enjoy this evening with you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Jeff Billings, Viper MB, Nicholas Fogg, RB Fern, Steve Overlay, Fat Fist, Nick the Slick. There's Buffalo on the beat. Bill Butler, Sebastian Arnold, Connor Dent. Take it easy. What a great group. I love you guys. Thank you for sticking around. Jeff Billings. Man, he's been straight fire. Well, let's start with last week's big winners in the Pick Six contest. Ronald, 6-0, 7.06 units. Only 5 guys were able to get a perfect record and find a plus unit play. Ronald, Rome, Clone, out. ATM Watson, 23, Pigpen, Big Timer, 56, and Natty, 68. But Rome, Clone out. ATM Watson only got half the prize. The rest was spread out to the SBR Pros because they are not SBR Pros. And why wouldn't you be? When you're an SBR Pro, you can use your bet points to open up books. You can use your bet points to get bigger bonuses. You can use your bet points to get cash. We also have an SBR store, but I would use it to get cash. All right, let's keep rolling. The top 6 overall, Tanko still has the lead, barely. Less than half a unit. Tanko over Har the Bar, Vlad Fan Rock 1, Hill, J, Academics, and Fonzo 04. Take it easy says drinking some Henny. No, sadly, take it easy. I have not been successful enough as a capper to drink that Henny. I, sadly, have to turn to my very cheap friend, Ron Centenario. This is the 4-year-old Ron Centenario. It doesn't get cheaper than this, unless you're drinking moonshine. So I hate to be honest in that spot, Connor Dent. Take it easy. But yeah, not successful enough for that Henny. When you're drinking that Henny, when you're drinking that yak, you're doing well in life. All right, SBR personalities, DJ Big Boss, about to join us, now in 46th place in this contest. 46th place. There's my guy Paulo Marquez in the house. There's Buffalo on the beat, Prune Juice, Lena Cravassier. Fat Fist coming off a 5-0-1 week himself. Fat Fist says Ron who? Ron Centenario is who? Babano in 85th. Big Ragoo in 300th. Flash in 560th. Natalie Rydstrom even hammering me. Oh, God. 28. No, she's killing me in this contest. Anna Merrick, 33, no, down 1.67 units. Teddy Covers was down 17 units. Now he's down 1.91. He's going to end up in plus units. Whale Capper, minus 2.27 units. I expect him to do better. Drew Martin down 5.53 units. Al Mack had back-to-back 0-6 weeks after killing it. Now he's down 5.66 units. I'm just a mess. I'm not seeing things clearly. I can't wait to break down these games with you guys. I'm a mess. Thank God for Donnie Rightside and Parlay Poppy being behind me, but that won't last if I keep losing. SBR Forum notables, Har the Bar, Vlad Fan 2-3, Lazio Kid in 7th, Vortex 00 10th, CG 5293 in 13th, Daniel Espinoza in 15th, The Woj in 16th. The Woj comes on our show too. Jat 24, TJH 24th, Poison in 26th, and Poison, by the way, who is up 14.62 units, has won 8 straight bets. And if your 2-unit play successfully achieves a pick 6, returns an interception for a touchdown, you get 600 bet points. Someone who did pick up 500 and some odd bet points, Fat Fist, who's in our chat. Chump change VS or VSOP. It's got to be VSOP. You know? But you know what? The Henny I've been getting is just the very special. Just the very special. Because I'm not balling. All right. Virginia Tech, Troy, Air Force, Wyoming, App State, Hawaii, all returned interceptions for touchdowns. And the Saints returned a pass, return interception for a touchdown. And our very own Barry McCockner picked one up and got those 600 bet points. There's Ronnie Christie in the house. All right. Fat Fist, you picked up about 550 bet points. Go open up a book. Get it high enough and open up a book with your bet points. That's what you do with them. That's what you won, Fat Fist. I can show you where it is. But nice work. All right. That is the work. The work, the important stuff is Ronald picked up $600 last week, winning the week. And our first guest is now 46th place in this competition. 13 games over 500, 39-26-1, up 12.73 units, and he's basically saving the show, and he's on my shirt. Please welcome to the show none other than DJ Big Boss. Big Boss, my man, how are you?
What up, though, Jimmy? What up to all my folks in the chat? Hey, good one right there for the 500 points, Fat Fist. Better cash all that in on the SBR forum for pizzas, sportsbook points, everything. Shout out to Dutch Boy Fresh is in the chat today. But yeah, Jimmy, you know, I've been doing pretty well on the Pick Six contest, but, you know, the degenerate in me keeps on playing far beyond the 6 picks. So my weeks haven't been as great as it looked in the Pick Six. And last week in my main picks, I was like 1-4. So I'm really coming off a bad week. But I had a couple bad beats last week. Colorado State, man. You know, I could go kick that guy in the head for doing what he did, throwing that interception. But you know, a lot of stuff going on, Jimmy, in the Pick Six contest. This is a situational week for me. I still haven't got 6-0, so I really got to see how I'm getting 6-0. So I'm trying everything I could do. And I was in the Chinese food store, and I seen on the shelf they had a thing said Lucky Nuts. So I got some Lucky Nuts. I'm gonna shake the Lucky Nuts, Jimmy, and I'm gonna get it. Maybe I'll take one Lucky Nut on the show. And this will give me my 6-0. This one little lucky nut right here.
Oh, I do not.
How you feeling tonight, Jimmy?
I do not support those lucky nuts at all, man. I don't know how it's come to this, that we need lucky nuts in your mouth. I do not feel comfortable. I do not feel comfortable here at all. You don't need lucky nuts, man. You're in 46th place. You lead by example. You should be drinking that cognac, feeling good about yourself, not finding lucky nuts in a Chinese grocery store. But respect for all you've done in 46th place. You are the leader of the personalities. We're going to go over all of your picks. Also, the big Ragoo in the house. Ragoo joining us. 36-30-0, up 4.15 units. He had back-to-back 5-1 weeks, and he's come back to earth, but still looking good in 300th place. Please welcome to the show, the big Ragoo in the house. How you doing, big Ragoo? How's the sauce holding up, my man?
The sauce is in the pot stirring right now. I wish I was up there with my man, but I'll take 300. Better than being 2,000, I guess.
Watch your mouth. Watch that mouth. Watch that mouth. Crazed X says, Jimmy, comment on the rumor you aren't the one making plays in the contest. Man, I would love that. Oh, I wish, Crazed X. I wish I could let someone else fall on the sword. Oh my God. I wish. That sounds pretty nice, Crazed X. That sounds pretty good to me. I wish I could blame somebody. I wish I could blame Freddie or Larry. I wish I could blame one of them, but I can't. Would you think I want to be embarrassed like this, Crazed X? Come, you think I would? Come on, I would throw that person under the bus, man. I'll throw that person under the bus. So that's me commenting on the rumor, Crazed X. You got me. Good one. All right, Ragoo, DJ Big Boss in the house. We have some time to go over your action, but I want to go over some NFL plays. I am looking at your action right now, and Ragoo is straight college, and DJ Big Boss does have a total here. Does have a total here. Wait just a sec. And no, that's last
some
week.
NFL if you want it.
That's last week. Sorry. Let me get. Okay, so we have. Okay, that was last week. All right, let me look at everybody's action here. So that was last week. Colorado State plus 10. That almost crushed me. Big Boss, this is your action. Your 2-unit plays Temple? Or is that Ragoo's?
Absolutely not, man. That's the wrong week right there.
Okay, that's Ragoo's. And you sent your action here. Okay, there it is. Okay, so you do have NFL as well. Okay, you do have NFL. You have the 49ers. All right, well, let's get after it. Let's start with both of your 2-unit plays. And because, DJ Big Boss, you are the leader in this whole competition, your 2-unit play is on San Jose State -6. This is a play that Teddy Covers is on as well. Let us know, boss. Why are you on this -6 with San Jose State?
This one it kind of jumped off the page for me right here, Jimmy. Been following San Jose State for a couple years now. This group has a lot of seniors on this group. They've been doing well traveling this year, but they haven't been doing quite well in the Mountain West. They only won one game in the conference, and here they're playing the team that hasn't won no game in the conference, UNLV. They're in Vegas. That's the only thing scares me of this game is they're going to Vegas. They're San Jose kids, so they're not really that far, so who knows what happens here when they get over to Vegas. Hope the coach over there can keep them focused. But this is a wonderful group. The quarterback, he's been doing his thing all year. They hit or miss. They have good spots and bad spots, which might explain the total being high. But I really back San Jose State right here as the better team against this UNLV team that they had some injuries throw them off. They kind of, been doing things a little different this year. They usually are a heavy run team, but this year they kind of 50-50 because of the quarterbacks that went out and all the different looks. So, they're kind of going around like a chicken with their head off. It would mean a lot to them to win if they do win. But San Jose State with the seniors, probably going to be senior night the next game when they hit back San Jose State. This is these seniors' last road game. These are not guys who you think are just going to the NFL or the next level. These guys, these may be their last games they play in their whole career. So I expect them to play hard at Sam Boyd Stadium versus UNLV this weekend, -6.5. And guess what, Jimmy? I'm going to be in Vegas for that.
Nice. Oh, man, I'm so jealous. You guys are going to be in Vegas. Very, very jealous. San Jose State -6. It was picked up by Teddy Covers on Betting with the Bag at 4.5 on Monday. San Jose State -6 is the 2-unit play from our DJ Big Boss. Wow, okay. And then let's move over to the 2-unit play from the Big Ragoo. The Big Ragoo is on Temple +11 at -115. Why are you backing Temple here, Ragoo?
I like them to start out with. But in this series, the past 4 years, Temple's won the game straight up to start out with. And Temple's not a bad team. They're 7-3 versus a pretty hot Cincinnati team, which is undefeated, moving on up the scales a little bit. I think this team can hang with them. I think they play solid enough defense. Their offense can be spotty at times. And we know what we get with Cincinnati. You're going to get a tough defensive squad here. But I think 11's way too many points in this game. Now, it could get ugly real quick if it goes Cincinnati's way, but I don't think it's going that way for them. I think Russo's playing good quarterback right now. Temple's got a little bit of tempo going. No pun intended there. But at the same time, I think they can hang well within that number. And I like the look here just because of the way they've played in the past. And it's a good matchup for Temple. The way, a lot of familiarity on the field with both of these teams. And I like the look at Temple here getting the points.
Temple is Ragoo's 2-unit play. I would like to switch it around, try something different right now. So let's stay with Big Ragoo. We know Teddy Covers is on San Jose State, and DJ Big Boss's 2-unit play is on San Jose State this weekend. Ragoo, what do you think about their looks on San Jose State UNLV? Because it'd be 6.5 if you took San Jose State right now. Are you reading their literature on this?
Well, I know it's not the probably best game of the board, but we're not interested in the best game. We're interested in making money, correct? So I know UNLV's coach is probably going to be gone after this year, Sanchez, and San Jose State, they're not setting the world on fire either. So I don't think a whole lot of nothing's going on with the UNLV on the defensive side. Now they can score points, as can San Jose, but I would probably lean more towards the over versus the side. But I'm not a Mountain West expert. It's just my first looking at the numbers there. But they're probably got the right side, I would say. But it would be San Jose or pass for me.
It would be San Jose or pass. Well, let's switch it around and take a look at Big Ragoo's 2-unit play. What do you think about backing Temple plus double-digit points, Big Boss?
Hey, man, I don't know who came up with this idea, but you're not supposed to be dipping in the sauce. If the sauce say plus points with Temple, I usually take plus points at Temple. But I don't know. Just I was on Temple early in the season. I fell off a little bit on Temple, so I don't have a clear read on Temple. But one thing I did notice about this Temple team is that last week they were talking down on them, and this week we'll be talking good on them. So I don't know which one is which. We'll have to go and dive in the books a little bit to get into that game. But I don't play around in the sauce, so I'll take the plus points for Temple.
Well, feel free to load in questions. Barry Block has locked in a question, and we'll talk about it. Those are the best bet looks from the boss and the sauce. I want to start going through NFL. This afternoon, I was like, okay, let's lock in these 6 plays, but I want to cap these games together. So instead of coming here and saying, oh, this is what I'm on, this is what I'm on. Look, what I'm on is not working in NFL. And if it wasn't for smashing NHL and NBA, I'd be getting crushed overall. And I want to cap these games together on this show live. So that's what we are going to do. That's what we're going to do. But Barry Block, my guy, your guy, Barry Block, he likes your look a lot on San Jose State. He's on -6.2. Boss, he says UNLV playing for nothing, and Spartans need 2 wins to be bowl eligible. That'd be nice to see San Jose State bowl eligible. Barry Block and he says Spartans are much improved with their quarterback on the offensive side, and I don't see UNLV moving the ball much. Barry Block wants to talk Iowa, Illinois. I already know that Teddy Covers on Illinois plus the 14. Barry Block is siding with Illinois plus the 14. Let's ask our Big Ragoo what he thinks of this spot. And the 14s are gone. 14s are gone. It opened Illinois plus 12.5. And now we see plus 15.5. Plus 15.5. Big Ragoo. Let me just quickly take a look at Big Ragoo's action here to see if he's already got it. And no, this is not one of his plays. Big Ragoo, what do you think of Illinois catching 15.5 points on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern? Or 12 Eastern. What's wrong with me? What do you think of this spot with Illinois at 12 p.m. Eastern?
When I first looked at the number, I want to know who they were really playing because I know Iowa, they probably score about 20 points a game on average, and they yield about 20. So that's a lot of points. It really is. And I know Illinois has become a covering machine of late. Yeah, I think they're like 3 in a row. I'm not looking at the books right now, but I want to say I think they got 3 ATSs and a couple W's sprinkled in there. Now, Lovie Smith was fighting for his job, or it was on the hot seat for a long time, and all of a sudden he's kind of got some fire lit under their asses. But I was looking at that number. I was thinking the same thing. I thought it was kind of high personally. For me, it was Iowa pass. but evidently people are jumping on it for a reason. If it's 14 to 15 and a half, I don't know. Maybe they run out of steam here in that spot. I don't know. It just seems like a fishy number, even though Illinois has been doing a great job covering number and getting some W's late down the stretch. I really don't have a strong opinion either way in that game. I would say my first instinct is to take the points, but then something tells me 14 is for a reason. So it's a no play for me. I hope I'm helping, but at the same time, I'm being honest about it.
Yeah, it's moving against. The market's moving against it. Okay, let's switch gears. We'll get back into NCAA football, but I'd like to switch gears into NFL football. One of the moves that had made my top 9, but didn't make my top 6, and then I decided not to send it in, is a spot that is already being hammered in the contest by DJ Big Boss. So let me pull it out right now. DJ Big Boss is backing the San Francisco 49ers -3 on Sunday. All I've heard from everybody in the chat, in the office from Flash, is Packers off a bye. Look what Aaron Jones is doing. Blah, fucking blah, blah, blah. Packers are 3-1 on the road. Jimmy G just put up 423 yards and 4 touchdowns without Kittle. Now, look, I know it's against the Cardinals. I wasn't going to go for a side here. I was going to go for an over. But I saw this total already move up 2 points. Let me get to it right now on the best odds page in the business, Sportsbook Review odds page, sportsbookreview.com. It's still 3 if you want either side. And then if you want a total, it opened at 46 at 5 times. It opened at 45.5 at Pinnacle. It's now at 47.5 or 48. So first off, let's hear why DJ Big Boss is on the San Francisco 49ers, because everybody else is on the Packers. And I'm very interested to hear your breakdown. DJ Big Boss, pick 6 contest selection, San Francisco 49ers -3. Why, Big Boss?
Okay, first let me say I'm a 49er fan, and this is probably one of the first times I laid money on the Niners this year. I think the line is appropriate this time, and I've been watching Green Bay all year. I've said it on the show before that Green Bay, they decided to fire off fast this season. So if they lose games later in the season, they'll be okay going into the playoffs. Here we go right here. There's a team that may not mean much on either side, with the records in the NFC. But let's go right through they had a week off. We've seen it happen too many times. The week off sometimes can be more hurtful than helpful at times. Aaron Rodgers been playing totally lackadaisical. He's not in a rush to beat nobody. He's not in a rush to prove anything. He's looking to get the ball with 2 minutes left and try to win the game. He's playing a 49er defense. And one thing I saw after the game last week is that this is a defense that's excited to play football. And that's a great thing that they're excited to play football. And I don't think that Green Bay offense will be able to move the ball too much. 49ers offense probably will struggle to move the ball without Kittles, but they'll get the job done at the end of the day. They have that winning spirit. And I like them right here at home versus a Green Bay team. It's a big game to us, just be somebody, from the other side. But I'm riding with my Niners -3.
The weather's nice.
Also, as far as you were saying on that total right there,
yeah.
I lean under with this game right here. I've been pretty good on the totals with San Francisco this year because I haven't been playing a side. And when they play teams like Green Bay, they're two similar teams playing each other. Usually equals an under instead of an over, even though it looks over.
Let me hear Big Ragoo's breakdown of what he thinks is going to happen on the Sunday nighter. Packers, Niners. Take it easy. Says Kittle didn't practice today, but I still think he plays. Jimmy, yeah, I still think he plays. All the comments I'm hearing is that he's still going to play. And Shanny's not. You have to practice on Wednesday to be in the lineup Sunday. So we shall see. Look, Breda ankle injury, Coleman not stepping up, Mostert not looking good, and yet the offense still puts up 36. No, let's take that last touchdown out of it. But this offense can roll, and everybody's on the Packers. I'd love to hear what you think of this spot. Big Ragoo, Packers, Niners, 3-point spread, 47.5 or 48 on the total.
Number one, we know we got two winning teams with good records. I think 8-2 and 7-3, if I'm not mistaken. And three to me is always an automatic short number on a quality team at home, giving up the field goal. Except for New England. New England, if I get anything less than a touchdown, I'm on New England at home. So,
all right. Sorry, you cut out there
anyways.
for a second, Ragoo. Let's see. Can you? Okay. I think we're gonna try calling him back. We're gonna try calling him back. Jeff Billings, who has been straight fire for a while, loves 49ers first half and full game. I really want to hear what Ragoo has to say about it. Okay, let's start going through spots that I want to attack here. And I'm going to need the chat to step up here for us. I'm going to need the chat to step up while we break these games down because I'm not seeing things clearly, okay? So, Dolphins, Browns. Actually, we got Ragoo back. Do I get a thumbs up? Okay, Ragoo, we are sort of cutting in and out. I want to talk about a couple spots here, but I do really need to hear what you have to say about this spot on Sunday. And I think you were leaning towards another spot as well. So let's go Packers, Niners. And if you were talking about the Patriots, which I believe I'd love to go to that next, but Packers, Niners, how do you see this banging out?
Packers, San Fran by a touchdown.
Wow.
That's anything less than a field goal, I'm on San Fran. I think at home, San Fran plays a little bit better. They score more points. Green Bay's got the travel. We got the Aaron Rodgers factor built in. I think the value is on San Francisco side because of Rodgers. Rodgers is probably worth 3 or 4 points himself. And I think Jimmy G's just as good as him in any spot there, especially at home. So give me the 49ers at home laying. I say they win by a touchdown.
Wow. And then what do you think about this total that keeps creeping up and is now at 48 at some books?
It's a tricky spot, the total. I'm thinking I got it total about 45, so I would lean towards the under here. I'm with DJ Big Boss on that one. I like the under. Even though 49ers will probably outscore them by a touchdown, I think San Fran's it's probably going to be looking at probably like about a 24-20 or 24-17, 24-20 finish.
Okay. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, here is another spot I want to ask you about. But I would like to get, okay, let's close on the big Patriots game. Let's just move towards it. I did introduce this spot here that I think could be a moneymaker in Dolphins-Browns. And I want to attack this game this way, and I'd love to hear both of you guys. We'll start with the sauce. We'll start with Big Ragoo here. I want to go over this total of 44.5 in Miami, Cleveland. I really do. I see this as a spot where Cleveland's won 2 in a row. They're on extra rest. We know that Miami's allowing 148.3 yards on the ground. If Cleveland starts running down their throat with Chubb and Hunt, it's going to create a situation where Baker can throw it out. Baker hasn't had, other than that crazy game in Baltimore, he hasn't had one of those games where he stepped up. And this Dolphins defense is allowing 30.5 points per game. I want to go over this total. We've seen the Browns secondary. We've seen Greedy come back. We've seen Ward come back, but they're still bad. I want to go over this total. And in fact, I'm thinking about making it my 2-unit play. Big Ragoo, what do you think about, and I'll ask Big Boss afterwards. Big Ragoo, what do you think about going over the total in Dolphins-Browns?
44.5.
Yeah.
I think we know the Dolphins, they got to make that trip up to Cleveland. It's going to be cold weather, I'm sure, right? Or what's the weather going to be like?
The weather is 41 Fahrenheit. It's mostly cloudy, and the wind is at 14 miles per hour at this point.
Windy. All right, so anyways, you know you're going to get a whole lot of Chubb, a whole lot of run. Dolphins are going to yield yardage. As long as our boy don't throw about 2 or 3 interceptions, I think they'll probably put up at least 30 34 points, maybe 40 points themselves. So you got to have the Dolphins contribute at least 10 to 14 points for that to go over. So that's the question. If you think Miami can score 10 to 14 points against that Cleveland defense, then the over looks good. If you don't think Miami's going to score more than 10 points, then I would say under.
I think that they are going to put up those points. Sorry, putting a little mix into my.
That's all right. Here's you, my man. Drink up.
I think that they are going to be able to put up those points. I really, really do.
Take the over.
I think the over is like a main look for me. I'm going to add a fourth asterisk there. All right, I'd like to go through a couple more NFL plays before we start breaking down your card in NCAA football for both you guys. And I'm going to be very selfish with this. These are the looks that I want to make and the bets that I want to make. So this didn't make my cut for the top 6. And then I said, no, don't put it in. I am very interested. Oh, sorry, I didn't hear Big Boss's breakdown on that. What am I got a little, I got a little tipsy there. Big Boss, what do you think about me going over the total of 44.5 in Miami, Cleveland?
I think it's kind of low too, Jimmy. It's all good. I kind of like the over in that one. I've noticed these last 2 weeks, and I've said it on the show before as well. Teams are at this point in the season, they know what they do good and what they don't do good.
Big Boss, bring your mic down. Okay, he's got his mic down.
And there's a lot of volatility between a team like Miami and a team like Cleveland. I always like backing Cleveland to the over because Baker, he's a gunslinger. He'll try to throw the ball all day. He'll always give you your money worth if you're taking the over with Baker Mayfield. So I like it. I like it over right there. 44 is kind of a low number. This week, these numbers rose a little bit because teams, like I said, they know what they do well now. They can find ways to score.
I think so too. So then which is a very important question Ronnie Christie's asking, with it being a run game and not the best weather, isn't that conflicting on the over? Well, that's why it's at 44.5 and not at 47.5 or 48. I'm still comfortable with going over the total in Miami, Cleveland, and that is going to be, so I've added an extra asterisk. Okay, here's one that didn't make my card. Let's go to you first, Big Ragoo. Well, my card isn't even in yet, but this wasn't going to make my top 6, but it still could. And that's taking the Giants +6 against these Bears in Chicago. And there's a 6.5 on the board now, a bookmaker. And the way I see this, so I was hoping Evan Ingram didn't practice today. I need him in the lineup. I know that Daniel Jones has been giving the ball away, 8 picks, 13 fumbles. The Giants are coming in off the bye. They've lost 6 straight. They're getting 2 offensive linemen that didn't play 2 weeks ago in Jalapio and Remmers back. We expect they're getting Nate Solder back. We're expecting Sterling Shepard in the lineup. Janoris Jenkins still in concussion protocol, but I expect him back. We're dealing with the Bears team that Trubisky may or may not play, probably won't play. Doesn't matter if he plays or Chase plays. They're both terrible. Khalil Mack is doing very little. I know he's being double teamed. Can the Giants stay in the number, Big Ragoo?
Before you take the Giants, take your temperature first. See if you feel okay. All right, start there first. And then go watch a Vic DiBitetto video on him in the locker room. That'll change your mind altogether. The comedian, you know Vic DiBitetto, you know who he is? Watch him on YouTube. But anyways, to answer your question, I'm not taking the Giants if you gave me your money for free to bet on them.
All right. I was not what I was hoping to hear. DJ Big Boss, are you on Ragoo's train? Are you stay away from the Giants at all costs?
I'm not a favorite Giant better or nothing, but I love the over in this one. 40's a low number, probably because they think the best of Chicago's defense. But I think Chicago's offense may be able to get loose against this Giants defense. So I think some points can get stored. And in the NFL, all it takes is one team to start scoring and the other team to chase that. Next thing you know, with 21, 28 points in the first half, and we're looking at a dead over. So I like the over 40 points in this.
Interesting. I didn't think of that. Okay.
Right. My man sounds real convincing there. So that's some good advice by DJ. Great advice, DJ. I like that better than both of these teams because both of these teams they can't get out of their own way as far as one team giving the ball away and one team that can't score a point. So which poison are you going to pick? So pick the poison of the equal, and hopefully you get some turnovers and some offense that opens up.
41 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 13 miles per hour is the wind. And this weekend, and it's going to stop very soon, but in these, northeastern and football environments, the weather's really nice this weekend in comparison to what it would be. So Shaft says Rams ran all over the Bears with a broken Gurley. Brooklyn Funk Project says nobody scoring in Chicago this week. Rob Stevenson put a parlay together. Money line, Miami, Green Bay, Seattle, New York. $50 pays out $4,457 for Rob Stevenson. Shaft says Barkley should be able to have a huge game and control the clock. All right. Okay. This also didn't make the top 6, but I'm so interested in it. And that is the over in Oakland, New York Jets. The over in Oakland, New York Jets. Oakland opening up a -4.5. They're down to 3 or 2.5. Money pouring in on the Jets. I had 3 different people send me a message saying JETS, 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 Jets today. This total opened up at 47.5. It's down to 46.5. And I want to make a move on this over 46.5. The Jets just put up 400 yards of offense. I know it was against the Redskins. New York's, they're averaging 16.4 points per game. I just feel like this Raiders team, which has improved defensively, they've improved, Max Crosby and Cleveland Farrell are playing very well. But I think they can put up points. I think the Jets can put up points. This didn't make my top 6. What do you think about the over in Raiders Jets? Big Ragoo.
I like it. I like it a lot. Raiders are scoring points, like you said. Jets are on the move here. Raiders are surprisingly good on offense, and I think this game is a dead over here. That's a solid look.
I like hearing that. Let's hear what DJ Big Boss has to say about the over in Oakland Raiders, New York Jets.
This is one of my contrarian spots right here. When you get 2 teams that are similar in play, you get an under instead of an over. It looks like it should be an over. First looking at it, I would say Jets, they're trying to rebrand their offense so they would presumably score a lot of points. Oakland is feeling themselves. They're in a good spot, after all in their season, and they've been scoring a few points. But the teams are very similar. They both struggle on offense. They have a defense that tries to carry them that can't be beat. So we got 2 similar teams right here. The total's going to go under in this one. It's kind of contrarian, but it's how I play it all the time.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm just going to keep rolling through here quickly, then we'll go through your NCAA football. This is one that would have made my cut had I put it in. If I had to put this in for this show, this play would have made the cut. And that's the Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints, under 47. It opened at 48. It's now at 47. Kyle Allen's trash right now. Throws 7 touchdowns, 0 picks first 4 starts. He's now throwing 3 touchdowns, 9 picks in his last 4. It's just McCaffrey or nothing. And the Saints defense can slow down McCaffrey. I still don't trust the Saints offense with getting nothing out of, no, I should say nothing, getting no zip out of Drew Brees' passes. DJ Big Boss, let's go to you right now. Kyle Allen is doing nothing. He's going to go into the Superdome. I think he gets shut down. If he gets shut down, does that mean that I should probably take New Orleans at -8.5 or -9? I don't know. It's a lot of points. I would prefer to take the under here in Carolina and New Orleans. What do you think?
For some weird reason, Jimmy, I feel this game will probably be decided by a field goal. It's just two similar teams again. I would lean the under on this one because you got both of them have sporadic offense and they don't have much defense, which would spell an easy over. Like if everything was just as good as that, it would be an easy over. But somehow in the wicked NFL, these two teams line it up and just start running the ball and playing defense on it because they practice against a similar offense or defense, which they're prepared for, and they have to go to their second lines of defense and their second lines of attack to be able to win the game, which causes the game to slow down. So I would lean the over, but I really like New Orleans in this one. I always like the opportunity to take New Orleans at home, but the 7 is kind of leery in this one. I kind of feel this game by a field goal, but I'm scared to pull the trigger and take Carolina.
Jeff Billings, who's seeing things so clearly right now, is on the Panthers all day. All day. Joseph Gomez says Allen has been figured out. If Lattimore is back for the Saints, it's over. Oh, sorry. Allen is Bean is what he meant. Allen's Bean figured out. If Lattimore is back for the Saints, it's over. Man, do I want to make a move here. The over is cashed in each of the last 6 games played between these two teams in the Superdome. In 8 of the last 10 overall as well, the over is cashed in Carolina, New Orleans. All right, I'm getting more question marks than anything, but I'm very thankful that I'm not coming on here saying these are my plays. I need to get hot late in the season. The happiness of my life depends on it. All right, Big Boss, I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about this spot because it's a spot that I cashed on last week. I cashed easily on the New York Jets Redskins over. I didn't make the bet until about 30 minutes before the game popped off, but I was confident. Oh, I shouldn't say I was confident. I wanted to take the Redskins all week. When they were -1, I was like, Redskins off a bye, Callahan off the bye. And then on Tuesday, I kind of got talked off of it because the Redskins are such shit. And then they went to 2.5, and I was still like, and people were like, go take the Redskins. And I was like, fuck, I can't do it. And then I took the over, and it was only because of the Jets offense that I cashed the over. And that's probably why I want the over in the Jets-Raiders game. And it's probably good that you're talking me off of this. The spot that I want to ask you about is the Detroit Lions, Washington Redskins total. It's really low at 41.5. Driscoll has been good. Driscoll goes 15 for 26 for 209 yards, 2 Ds, 0 interceptions. Sure, he doesn't put up a ton of yards, but he looked good against the Cowboys' now bad defense, which is shocking to say. He also ran 8 times for 51 yards. I want them to give Geis more opportunity on the Redskins side of things. Haskins is bad, but he can be better, and we can't look at his stat line, 19 for 35, 214 yards, 2 DDs, 1 interception, because he only had 100 yards passing before, it was 34-3. DJ Big Boss, I'm interested in taking these 2 bad teams to go over the total of 41.5. What do you think about that, DJ Big Boss?
I'm gonna see if I could try to talk you over to the side on this one. I think Detroit is a way better team than this Washington team. And Washington, are they at the verge where they need to just go ahead and lay low and try to get the first pick and start all over again next year? We don't know. The jury's still out on that. But we know that Detroit is hungry. They had a couple bad beats this year. They are I wouldn't say a quality team, but they play a quality game of football. And I think that this is a spot where they can just get away from these guys. And I would be more towards the side than the total because they could blow these guys out and, 27, something crazy. But, I don't know. But 41.5 is really low. You probably have to check the weather all the way down to the hour before the game. And I would definitely jump on Detroit before I mess with that total right there.
I have the weather right here, 49 Fahrenheit, sunny, 11 miles per hour. All of these northeastern spots are nicer this weekend than ever during this time of year. We have Al Cervic in the chat, man. It's been a while since we've seen big ol' Al Cervic. I'm going to take a shot for Al Cervic, man. Brooklyn Funk Project, Nilo, Marcus Johnson, all you guys, Shaft, Joseph Gomez. I'm really excited to be going live with Big Boss and Big Ragoo again. And we're going to be doing this every Wednesday starting now. I know we had a slow start because of the sound issues that we were having. But we're rolling now, and I'm thankful to have you guys. For Al Cervic, hammer shot of Oron Centenario. Big Ragoo, what do you think about me trying to get over the total of 41.5 in Detroit, Washington?
Did you pick a side yet, or are you just on the total?
Well,
I've been having internet issues. I apologize with you guys.
No worries. You're looking clear as a bell right now. Big Boss was trying to push me over towards the side. Maybe you can do the same.
The Washington team's a mess. We know that. So they're going to yield points. So I kind of like Detroit in this spot, even though they're on the road. I think Detroit's, getting the point, getting the number. I think they win the whole game. I like Detroit as a dog, money line dog in this spot here. I didn't play it in the contest, but that's something I like. But the total, I think it's set up for a total because Detroit, they've yielded a bunch of points over there. They're giving up like 27 points a game. Washington's offensive struggles is what worries me the most, to be honest with you. So I like Detroit on the side a lot better than I do a total over because the Washington look concerns me as far as being able to put points up on the board hitting this particular spot. But you're looking at a 1-9, 1-9 straight up versus 3-6. So neither one of these teams is setting the world on fire, but Detroit, I think, has a better look as far as being able to put points up here. But either way, you're pretty close to the number, I would say. Probably high 30s to low mid 40s. So it'd be a stretch. I don't see them scoring more than like 50-something points here. I see maybe like a 24-21 possibly, or maybe like a 21-17 final, somewhere in that range, or maybe even less. Maybe Washington scores 10 points and the other team scores 28 to 31 points. So who the hell knows?
I'm thinking about maybe a Lions team total over. I'm also thinking that I'm going to mark my record. Oh, say what, Ragoo?
Let's put you on something good here, man. Let's get a team total or a team size, something good. Let's put you on something good here, my man.
Well, I'm really thinking this. I'm gonna chart my record. I'm gonna, I was very, very thankful, very lucky to sit beside the legend Pistol Pete Loshak, and the records that we do for betting with the bag right now are painstaking. They take hours, but they're so important for honesty and transparency because we know what this business is sort of based on, sadly, and it's not that. And I need to talk these games out like this in this situation. If I get the Tuesday on the Audible and then Wednesday night with you guys and the chat, who's so helpful, and then Friday again on the Audible, I'm going to start charting my record as of NFL Playoff Drive live record. I think the Lions team total over and Big Boss pushing me towards the Lions. Now, Ragoo, they are 3.5-point favorites. So this is a road favorite. Jeff Billings says Detroit money line, but I'm certainly not going to do that unless I was making a huge bet, and I'm not going to. It won't be more than $200. Brooklyn Funk Project says I'm with the DJ. Detroit is my 2-unit play this week. So Ragoo, they need to cover 3.5 points. Will they do that? Do you think they do that?
Yeah, they get it done. Yeah, I apologize. I said plus 3.5. Yeah, they cover the number. They get there. They're at least a touchdown better in this spot. It was 6 to 10 points is what I come up with here. I'm saying probably a touchdown or better. Okay,
I'm just gonna start just taking advantage of having everybody here working together on the same card. Okay, Seattle, Philly. Seahawks, Eagles. Seahawks are open as 3-point dogs. They're now 1-point dogs at most books. I have futures on Philly and none on Seattle. I'm a big Niners fan. You know, Niners are my team, but I did grow up 3 hours from Seattle. That's including border time. I want to go under this total. I want to go under the number. It opened at 49, and it got down to like 47.5 earlier today. It's back up. There's a 48.5 at Bet Online. There's 48. So somebody's betting this over, and this probably would have. This is before I decided not to lay in my pick six picks until I talked it out with you guys. This would have made my cut, the under in Seahawks Philly. Let's go over to you, DJ Big Boss. What do you think about the under 48 in the Seahawks Eagles spot?
Jimmy. If you're having a bad time in the NFL, it gotta be because of some of these spots. You jumping right in the smoke right here. We got two teams right here that are total. They can play two total ways. Seattle's won game on a solid dead under. They've won games on a solid over. You know, this one right here, I would definitely stay away from the total in this one. I would lean more towards a side on this one, Jimmy. What side do you like on this?
I don't want to get in the way of a side. I have Prince of the City chirping in my. Nah, I love him, but I have him in my ear about how bad his Eagles are. I get these Eagles breakdowns from Donnie. I know the history of the Seahawks playing on the Eastern Seaboard. It's terrible. I also have seen this Seahawk defense step up. We were waiting for Clowney to step up. We were sitting there going, why is he not stepping up? He's now stepping up. The Seahawk defense looks great. If you want to look at these numbers, I've got numbers galore on this game. I was breaking down this game but Reed and Clowney are stepping up in a huge way. This Eagles team is last in all wide receiver rankings. Their two tight ends lead their receiving. But they're a better team than that. They're getting nothing out of their wide receivers, and they're still capable of winning this division. The side scares the shit out of me. Rob Stevenson says Seattle money line. Steve Overlay says, I agree, Eagles are pass. Joseph Gomez says Hawks hanging in. Shaft says Eagles bounce back after a letdown against New England. Let me see what the news on Jeffrey is. Jeffrey's not going to be there. I would like to make a move on the under in this spot. The side scares me. Big Boss, if I gave you a free play on the side right now, who'd you take?
I'd take the Eagles, Jimmy. I'd take the Eagles without a doubt in this one. Same situation right here like Green Bay and 49ers. Who wins or lose this game right here doesn't really have a heavy effect. But Philadelphia could definitely use this as a good home win with a Seattle team that's 8-2 right here, and they're on the road. They could lose a game right here. Russell Wilson has to come out and run all across the field week after week after week. How long do we think he's going to continue to make all these last-second plays and ever? That's going to come to an end. He's playing a quality team like the Eagles at home where they do it the best. And I think they have a tough time. You know, Pete Carroll, I did see the twinkle in Pete Carroll's eye last week. And, he did his thing. But Pete Carroll on the road right here against a team that really, really needs to win at home. And this is like one of those, conspiracy theory thinking. It's one of those season ticket holder games. Philadelphia's, even though they're having a rough time this season, they win this home game against a team that they thought was going to beat them at a pick 'em. Even if you're a capper in Philadelphia, your team, you're able to take your team at a pick 'em right here and win at home. That means a lot to people that's buying season tickets, that continues to back this team. I'm going to go on the side of the Eagles in this one 100%.
I find that a very exciting breakdown, Big Boss. I really, really enjoyed that. Marcus Johnson says, Seattle coming off a bye with an MVP candidate. Give me Seattle. Al Cervic says, Russell doesn't care what he has to do. He'll sleep in the offseason. I won't fade him right now. Nico says, who did the Eagles smack? A team that runs the ball and have a good D? Wow. That was in all honesty, with my Eagles futures, that was the kind of breakdown I wanted to hear, Big Boss. Big Ragoo, Seahawks, Eagles. I wanted to make a move on this under, and I still do. I'd love to hear what you think of this side total, because other than the Patriots, Cowboys, this is the second most exciting spot this weekend. Ragoo, Seahawks, Eagles.
Hey, this game should shape up to be a doozy, man. No doubt. Team's 5-0 on the road, Seattle. Team eats on the road, lives on the road. Like our guys in the chat are saying, Wilson's having an MVP type year. Give him a little more rest. Dallas coming off of that beat down in the second half. Philadelphia. They played a pretty tough first half with the Pats, and the Pats absolutely shut them down in the second half. So whatever happened there, we know what Belichick does. He shuts it down. Second half team when he's on his game. But anyways, I like the way Seattle's traveled. I like the way Wilson's playing. Inconsistencies on my end for Philadelphia. Well, I got to agree with Ant, Prince of the Cities. Look there. They're averaging about 28 points a game on the road. An interesting look here might be the first half in this game. Whatever that number might be, I'm looking at probably maybe close to 28 points in the first half. My numbers come up with. So if you're looking at were you looking at the over or the under? You said.
I was looking at the under. I was looking at the under, but Jeff saying Eagles first half in full game and the over. Jeff Billings throws me for a loop. I need to hear your total outlook on this spot, man.
All right, so more or less, I'm thinking with the rest that Wilson's getting, the travel spot I don't think is really going to matter because of the rest. So, you can't build that in. You can factor in a little bit, but not so much. But the fact that the way this team is playing on the road, and we know that playoff teams eat on the road, they win on the road, that's a mark of a champion. So to throw it at your number as a whole, this is all going to depend on the Eagles, how they react or how they come back from that game against the Pats, what their game plan is to try to slow Wilson down. So that's going to play into your total. So if you think that Seattle could be slowed down by Philadelphia, then the game is under. But if Wilson eats and their defense lets up just a little bit, it's got the look of an over. So it depends on how Philadelphia is going to slow Wilson down. That's my look on the total. If they are able to slow Wilson down, then go with the under. If you don't think they can, then I'd lean Seattle and over. Philadelphia and under at home, or Seattle on the road and over, whichever look you like.
I agree with that. But I also feel oh man, Sonny Vega in our chat, man, too exciting. And yes, Sonny, I'm rocking the Boston the Sauce shirt. Sonny Vega, I'm coming home for Christmas, man. I hope you're there in Toronto, man. Wouldn't mind having several drinks with you. Okay. I hear your breakdown, the correlation between the Seahawks and the over and Eagles and the under. I understand. Seattle's defense has stepped up all of a sudden. We've been waiting for Clowney to step up and be a man. He's one of those guys that you're like, well, are you going to step up today? And he's stepped up recently. And that makes me lean towards the under. Man. Now I have 8 question marks beside this game. Okay, I want to keep rolling with the... Okay, here's a big one for me. These Tennessee Titans, and I don't want to get like... I don't want nostalgia to mess my head up, and I don't want the biases to mess my head up. But they win the games they're not supposed to. They lose the games they're supposed to win. I don't want to get caught up in that. I'm trying so hard to not get caught up in that. But it just happens every year, every week. Titans off a bye after beating the Chiefs that they didn't deserve to win, but somehow they did it. Now they're supposed to win against the Jags, who just lost 33-13 to the Colts, a makeshift Colts team. Is Foles going to be more comfortable? What do you think about backing the Titans -3? Because it's heavily juiced. It's so heavily juiced, I'm sure 3.5s are going to get on the scene in a second. Let me pull it up right now. Sorry, I put up the wrong thing. I'm sure it's going to be 3.5 in a minute. It's not right now, but if you want the Titans, it's like between -120 and -125. DJ Big Boss, do you trust Tannehill and the Titans as favorites when they've let me down year after year after year, week after week after week in this spot?
Absolutely not, Jimmy. Tennessee or the Jaguars, you don't know what you're going to get with those teams week for week. Sometimes they show up, they play great. Sometimes they show up and don't play at all. Sometimes they show up, they play awesome on offense. Sometimes they show up, they play awesome on defense. These are the games that I put an X by as soon as I take a look at the matchup right here. But I just had to throw a little extra one on the Seahawks game. My dad's a big Seahawks fan. He just left here earlier, and he told me a little conspiracy theory about when players have a week off. He said these grown men, when they have a week off, their wives and their families, they have a lot of sex. So when they come back, they don't really have their legs up under them for a while. So it takes a while for them to develop.
Oh, man, we all know what's happening.
Take it for what it's worth.
They're not having sex with their wives. We know that. We know that. So that doesn't concern me. Laziness concerns me. Big Ragoo, Titans at home. Titans is favorites. I mean, look at what Sonny's saying. Sonny's like, drive me crazy, these Titans. Exactly, Jimmy. Me and them just don't get along. Barry Block says Titans win and cover. That's what we should be expecting. Big Ragoo, Jaguars, Titans.
Hey, if they took the AFC South and took it out of the league, I'd be one of the happiest guys in the world. I can't stand that whole division. It's a shit division. Every time I bet them fuckers, they cost me money, so they can go scratch their asses. The Titans, especially after that last Thursday night game, I lost a ton of money with them on that. But anyways, it's hard to figure them out. It really is. I'm with you and DJ Big Boss here. I mean, the Titans, they should be a field goal better at home. I'm still thinking Jacksonville's got to get their legs underneath them. Talk about legs. Foles, you think coming off the bench, he's shown some rust there last week at the Colts. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I hate Tennessee's one of those teams that I can't figure out either, And I was even looking at a total here, but even the total's too low for me to mess with that. And I think that number's pretty close to where that team's probably going to finish up. Probably be one of those 21-19 games, somewhere in that range. But who the hell knows? I mean, I'm not going to be much help for you here, Jimmy. Unfortunately, I don't like either team here. This is a dead pass for me. I have no interest. As soon as I see the game, I flip on down to the next one.
I'm really thankful for getting to say these things out loud. Jeff Billing says, Jimmy, the Titans will cover. And so does Barry Block. And these are two of the best NFL cappers that I run with. I feel like if you keep getting slapped in the face in the same situation, why would you put yourself in the same situation? But I feel it too. I feel it too. But is that some sort of recency bias because we just watched the Jags lose by 20? Is Foles going to be more comfortable in this spot? Oh man, it's got
nothing to do with that. It's got to do with the Tennessee look that I got, the last week and the week before that, and then like you say, the recency bias with Jacksonville. So I mean, it's like a Jekyll and Hyde. It's like an asshole. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got opinions like an asshole. Everybody's got one. So, and this, especially with these two teams, I mean, I have no interest on either team here. Like I said, if they took the AFC South and took it out of the league, I'd be one of the happiest guys on the planet.
I hear that. Our chat's starting to liven up here late in the show. Nilo, Nico, Steve
Get 'em
Overley,
going, man.
Joseph Gomez. We got Nutflush Allen. My favorite family in sports capping, Nutflush Allen, rolling with his RB Fern says, careful with the recency bias for the Seahawks defense. That was a primetime divisional game. Eagles game starts at 10 a.m. Pacific instead of 5:20. Also anxious to see how this game goes for Seattle. Oh, I like that comment, RB frame. Back to the Tennessee game. Marcus Johnson, Tennessee 0-10 against spread last 10 games versus opponent after a blowout. Oh, Marcus Johnson. That's exactly the stat that's been destroying us. So should we go against that stat this time, Marcus Johnson? Oh, man. Chris Sanitate joining as well. Says, I can't bet on any Titans games. Too inconsistent and unpredictable. Nice to have you in the chat, Chris. We got a great group. Okay, so we've made it here. Now, in all honesty, my cards become more confusing. Now, I'm thankful for this time to talk with you guys, and I'm going to go over all the notes I've taken, with you guys. So I'm very thankful, but I'm no closer to locking in my picks. But still, having because I told Big Boss and Ragoo, they have to get their picks in by Wednesday. And they've been doing that and succeeding enormously. And respect to you guys for what a great job you've done this year. And thank God, because we'd have no show without it. Let's get to this marquee spot, Dallas, New England. And let me say it to you guys quickly. And we'll move over to college football afterwards. And I apologize for spending so much time in the NFL, but I was being selfish. Sometimes you got to be selfish.
Hell yeah.
Dallas, New England. I want to go heavy on the overs. I want to triple up on the overs. The market's moving towards the under. Teddy Covers told me that, he's not made a move yet, but he said that he would make a move on the under. This total opened up at 46. It's now 45 across the board. It's 40 Fahrenheit in Foxborough. There's only expected, and we'll check it again on Friday for the audible, but they're only expected to be 5 miles per hour of wind. I want to go Cowboys team total over, New England team total over, and full game over. We know Dallas's offense is great. Their defense went from a top 3 team to a bottom 10 defense. Is that Van Esch's neck issues? We could talk all about why we think their defense is falling apart. I do not believe that New England Patriots defense is as good as it looks against these shit football teams. The Ravens put up 37 on them. I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to put 37 up on them. I feel like we can take advantage of a situation here. And I want to hammer overs. I want to triple up on this game badly. DJ Big Boss, what do you think about me hammering these overs?
It's unbelievable how much I'm on the other side of you in the NFL, Jimmy. And I think that you're a way better NFL capper than me. But I don't like the total in that game at all. I look forward to the side in that one. I don't see this Dallas teams that struggle to throw. Most teams nowadays, they're keyed up on Elliott, so teams are able to contain the run. He's not just running up and down the field as he wants. Dallas has been winning because they've been letting teams hang around in their games long enough to win. I think they're playing this New England team that has been firing on all cylinders at home, and I think the New England shellacks them.
Well, I think New England's, after watching Dallas barely get by Detroit, I know it was in Detroit, and maybe it was a letdown spot, but I've not heard anybody on the over here. Jeff Billing said, Jimmy, it's a big over. Okay. Cowboys can't stop the run, or the screenplays, and Pats can't stop the run as well. I think of like maybe I am trying to have the balls to go on this the way I think. Donnie Rightside already made the Cowboys team total over 19.5 in official play on the audible, and he never makes official plays. And look, Donnie and I aren't seeing things clearly this year. Our record's bad. And when you say, Big Boss, when you say that I see the NFL clearer than you, you're talking about what I've done the last 2 years, not what I've done this year. I'm getting mauled. But I feel like they're going to be points scored, and this 45 is a gift. I think it's a gift for us to put money in our pockets. Ragoo. And it's okay. Don't hold back. If you think I'm way off, don't hold back. Cowboys, Patriots.
All right, Jimmy, here we go. All right, number one, the Pats are giving up less than 100 yards a game on the ground and less than 100, right around 150 yards passing. So not a whole lot of offense coming against them. They got the bend, don't break defense in the first half, and then they're shut down in the second half. That's due to Belichick. Now, Dak Prescott is probably the best quarterback in the league at this point in time, right now. And their offense is rolling. So they are putting up the points. They are playing some shady spots, against teams they should be beaten easily. They are struggling. So do they flip that switch here against the Pats and kind of shock everybody and open their offense up against a tough defense? That remains to be seen. But the team total, I like that. I do like the 19, 20 points. That's probably a good look there. And if you like that, then you got to like the over because of the fact the total's what, 45, 46? What's the total right now?
It's 45, and I want you to know that I do not believe in Dak Prescott. I do not think he can find his receivers. I think he's a game manager at best. But this offense, the weapons he has. Did you see Gallup last week? You got Cooper and Gallup playing at such a high level. I could only imagine what other quarterbacks would do with those weapons and having a defense that's already defending the run because you've got Zeke Elliott. We've put Dak Prescott in the catbird seat, and he's still an average game manager to me. I'm not nearly as high on Dak as you are, but I'm extremely interested in your breakdown on this, and it's okay to not, agree on certain things. Keep going. It's 45. It opened at 46. It's down to 45.
All right. So Dak Prescott, he's not the best quarterback in the league per se, but his numbers right now are the best in the league. That's what I meant to say. I don't think he's the most talented quarterback, but his numbers right now, if you look at the analytics, his numbers are right there. So past 3 weeks, anyways. But he's distributing the ball. They are playing spotty and spots, but they are winning games, and they have the opportunity to showcase their talents on national TV, which they want to do. New England's always a spotlight game, but I have a general rule of thumb with New England. If I got New England at home, less than a touchdown, I'm on New England. I don't care who they're playing. So regardless of the total, if I get 6.5 with New England, I'm on it. So that's one bet I've already made. I didn't use it in a contest because my contest plays are strictly college, but I bet New England -6 already. So that's one of my plays. I'll give that out right now. But as far as the total goes, if you like Dallas's team total of over 19, 20 points, and the total's 45, and New England's a 6-point favorite, unless you don't like New England. If you like New England, you got to like the over. If you like Dallas, you got to like the under. I know it kind of goes against what wisdom says with both of these offenses and defense, the way they're playing, but I like New England at home, -6, and I like the over.
I'm going to be bullish about this spot. And seeing Jeff say both teams will give up a lot of points and big plays, let's get this over. I'm going to be bullish. I need to succeed in NFL, and I do it every year. I've done it the first 2 years in front of you guys. It's this year I'm not doing it. Publicly, it's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. It just can't stay this way for 17 weeks. I'm gonna fucking hammer this these overs. I'm gonna fucking hammer these overs. I'm gonna team total over. I'm gonna hammer this over. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do it because I'm $200 a unit right now, so I'm not sure how much I'm gonna spend.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Who do you like on the side in this game?
If I had a free play, I would take it on the Patriots.
Okay. All right. So if you like the Patriots, you think they're going to beat them by more than a touchdown, or you think how many points do you think the Patriots are going to score?
I do not believe in the Patriots, and I think the Cowboys can stay close to them because the Patriots aren't that good. And, once we make it to the playoffs, we can double back on just how good they are. But I beat myself up for not taking them at plus 700 to win the Super Bowl. I beat myself up for the first 6 weeks to not have at least $200 on it. And now I'm looking at them and I see an old Tom Brady and I see an offense that can't stretch. I mean, we got to see N'Keal N'Keal's got to step up because Sanu is not stretching any defenses. And unless Belichick has some trick up his sleeve to somehow stretch a defense, then I'm no longer upset that I don't have Patriots at 7-1 in my pocket.
Forget about the Patriots at 7-1 for a minute. Let's look. I'm going to reference back to that Kansas City game the other night. The Kansas City was looking rough in the first half, right? And I told everybody, get on Kansas City in the second half. And they scored 8 points. I think it was -3. So we know Andy Reid's a great second half coach, and we know Belichick's a great second half coach. So why not? I know you're doing that live betting show with Jay and them, on Mondays, and that's a great show, by the way. Props to SBR for putting that out there. And Jay, congratulations on that. But sometimes you just got to take a step back. I know we want to throw our looks out there and get some public play and stuff, but that's a game for me. I might have a second half interest in that, dictating on how the pace goes, whether it's a slower pace game. If it is, I'll probably jump on New England, if it looks a little tight early, and then I'll probably bet New England the second half, depending on. And then if it looks like New England's not on their game like they were against Baltimore, it's a stay away. So go to school on the first halves and get some good second half looks on, well-coached teams, not the shitty teams that that the coaches are making the adjustments and doing the right things with the personnel.
It's well put. Well put from a legend in the game, the big Ragoo in the house. I'm very thankful to get a chance to talk these plays out. Buffalo on the beat, who's so sharp as well, says Cowboys scored 12, 4 field goals. That's it. I'm not as high on the Patriots defense. So look, I took complete advantage of this show. I selfishly said, look, I need help, and I took advantage of it. But we did start late. And Rafa, they'll give you extra pay, right? They'll give you extra pay. I'd like to pour a little more something in my cup, and let's move to NCAA football. We've already heard the best bets from Ragoo and Big Boss. Big Boss best bet, San Jose State. That was Big Boss's best bet. Ragoo's best bet was Temple plus 11. All right, we got to be quick, and I apologize for not giving you guys enough time. I just need to get right so badly. So fucking badly. So badly. And I was just abusing your guys' skill sets and these great cappers in our chat that I'm so thankful for. Okay, let's get after it right now. And we're going to start doing a little quick spots on college football. So, Big Boss, I see you're on App State minus 29. One of the best cappers in the game, Noli knows, got me on App State last week. I was in a great spot because I was on Texas too. I was 2-1. I could have just let go. But I added my dad's play of UCLA. Oh, fuck. He sent me a message saying bet on UCLA. So I went in on it myself as well because I knew Teddy was on it. I should have just called Teddy and said, you're fucked. But I went on UCLA. And I was also on Colorado State with you, and that was just a bad break, bad loss. But Noli knows got me on App State. Now you're taking App State minus 29 at minus 120 as one of your pick six picks. Can you break down your love for App State for me?
Hey, Noli knows had me on App State last week as well. And low key, it's would open my eye this week on App State as well. Now, another thing that also was a red flag is I told you I've been flipping the stats upside down all season, and Texas State comes up in the bottom of a lot of things time after time. Last week, they took an even worse loss, and they play at Appalachian State, who's trying to clinch the division, a bowl win, all those type of things, and it's Appalachian State at home. These guys are coming from Texas to the mountains of Appalachian State. It'll take at least a couple quarters for them to learn how to breathe. So this is one of those situations where the line setters can't set the line high enough before they blow their cover. And I think this App State team runs all over. Last week, App State team went down 21 points and still covered 20-some-odd points at the end of the game. So these guys are firing on all cylinders for sure. And I'm going to take them at home. I love App State at home. They always have a little edge there because of the altitude that they play at. But teams that play them frequently, they get a little used to it. This Texas State team, they've been trash. They probably able they sell trash right here. These guys probably 53-6 or something crazy on these guys.
Big Boss, I need money badly. And App State took a while to get going last week. And there was a point where I was a little concerned. And then, as you said, they completely dominated. But Texas State is just terrible. Should we focus on App State first half this week because of how slow they started last week? And the fact that if they win by 25, it's fine. I know there's no first halves in the contest, but from a betting angle, if you could take them first half or full game, what would you take them?
I'd probably take them first half. I'm hoping that they learned their lesson from last week coming from behind. It was seriously unnecessary for them to have to do so, but they did, and they prevailed. But at the same time, I do respect the team that could take those adverse situations and change them around and react and make the best out of them, and that means that it's better to probably cover them full game. So split the unit in half on the first half on the full game.
I think this is the perfect situation to even make a bigger bet than my regular college football $100 unit on them first half because of what they did last week. And I understand what you're talking about the second half or having them full game, but I think I'm going to hammer this first half, and I think I'm going to make a decent-sized bet. I love that you're on App State. Barry Block saying this Pick Six show really lit. Much respect to Jimmy Ragoo and DJ Big Boss. We about to eat this weekend in preparation for turkey. You guys in the chat right now, you're making this show special, and we would really like to have a big second half, or a big last 6-7 weeks of this show. So the fact you guys are there and that you're here for us means so much to us. So truly, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. I'm going to make a big bet on App State first half. I watched that game pretty closely last week after Noli got me on it, and they were soft first half. I just don't see that happening again. I really don't see that happening again at this point. Okay, let's move on to a Ragoo spot. Ragoo, we don't have a ton of time. Let me tell you a spot that I find the most interesting of the spots that you're on, but we can touch quickly on each and every one of them. But you're backing Wyoming at -7 this weekend. Wyoming at -7. I've had a tricky time handling them. Why are you backing Wyoming -7 this weekend?
It's the first time I messed with Wyoming this season, so I figured why not? It's just as good as any other shitty team out there. But Wyoming, here's the thing I like about Wyoming. And I know Boss likes Colorado State because I always hear him talking about him. But this team eats. When they run the ball 70% of the time, and Colorado State's a more balanced team for sure. I'm gonna dip in the Mountain West here for a moment, which I rarely do. But anyways, just something caught my eye on paper with that. When they run the ball for 160 yards, they're undefeated. And they're running up against a Colorado State that's going to yield probably 200 yards on the ground. So I don't see a whole lot of points being scored here, but I think they're a touchdown better than Colorado State at home, just because of the fact that they played a lot of tough defense. Their defense is lights out. I'm sure DJ can tell you about that. And I think ball control, tougher defense, old school smash mouth football. they get the W at home, at least by not by double digits, but probably 7 to 10 points is what I come up with. I'm just curious, not to get in depth with my guy, but I just want DJ's look on that, just in a one sentence response.
I want more than one sentence, but I hear what you're saying. I need to hear what that's the reason why I asked about Wyoming here. Big Boss had such a good read on Colorado State. Big Boss, what do you think of Ragoo taking Wyoming here?
Oh, wow. This is one of the games right here that I actually kind of made another mistake here in the pick six. I was capping it. The second that I seen a peak that I thought it was going to be under, I took the under in the pick six, under 51. And the ideology behind that was that Wyoming's one of the better defenses that Colorado State has faced. Even though Colorado State did pretty good against a lot of different defenses and stuff like that. This Wyoming team is much more physical than Colorado, and I think Wyoming at home can play Wyoming ball and make Colorado State try to play Wyoming ball. I think that causes them to go under because without Sean Chambers, with Vanderwall back there, he threw a couple interceptions last week. I'm pretty sure when the coach comes out, he's going to implement the run a lot more against the Colorado State team who can't cover the run. And after putting in the under 51 and completing capping the game, my true play is Wyoming minus the 6. So I'm all with that, Big Ragoo.
Wow, there we have it. So DJ Big Boss on the Colorado State Wyoming under 51 and is backing the Wyoming look. We've already heard that App State minus 29. Let's do some quick looks, rapid fire looks on the rest of your card for each of you, one at a time. Let's start with Big Ragoo. So we know he's on Temple plus 11, Texas minus 7. Let's work quickly here, and I know it's not easy to do. We don't need to push it, but I really want to hear some of these ideas that you are on for the rest of the card. So let me pick a spot that I find most interesting, and I guess that would be your Texas A&M look against Georgia. Ragoo, you're on Texas A&M. You got him on a big plus line here. And that can't be right. Sorry, let me just make sure I got spreads and totals. You got Texas A&M plus 13. Why are they showing Oh, that's still okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm on first half. Okay, sorry. Let me get that. You got Texas A&M plus 13 in a huge football game this evening. On Saturday. Why are you backing Texas A&M versus Georgia?
Georgia's thinking about the SEC championship right now, so they're probably gonna not coast there, but they're not gonna. They're going to look at that game they got coming up next week. Not that they're looking ahead to that one, but this game here means a lot also. But I think Jimbo Fisher likes to cover numbers. He's a gambler himself. I don't care what anybody says. I'm calling you out, Jimbo. At the same time, I think 13's too many here in this spot. Kelly Munn, nice little quarterback. We know Georgia's going to shut the run down, and Texas A&M doesn't have that good of a run, so I'm kind of making a case against myself a little bit here, but I just think 13's too many points in this spot. I like Texas A&M getting the points.
Texas A&M getting the points at plus 13. You know, I think I might jump on that with you. That is sound. I think that is a very sound spot. The next spot that I find interesting that you're on is Pittsburgh. You are on Pittsburgh plus the 4 points. Could you break that one down for me?
Yeah. Pittsburgh, last year, I know it's a year removed, but Pittsburgh's a tough squad. I like the way they play defense. They probably got one of the best front sevens in college football. Look that up if you want. I think Virginia's got VT's got a tough game coming up with Virginia next week. It's definitely not a look-ahead spot here, just like the Georgia game isn't. But I think this game sets up nicely for Pitt. And don't be surprised if they don't win this game outright. They're both 7-3. Pitt's playing pretty good football right now. A lot of people got a knock on Narduzzi. Me, I like him as a coach. I think they match up well against VT here. VT's been playing balls up. They're coming off a huge win last week over Georgia Tech, a big shutout game. So this is a perfect letdown spot for them.
I like both of these dog looks that you're on. But the next look you're on is a big, big favorite spot. Wisconsin, Purdue. Wisconsin, you're backing at 24.5. They opened at 22.5. They're up to 25 at some books. Why are you expecting Wisconsin to put their foot on the throat of Purdue?
Purdue has got a lot of injuries. 4 quarterbacks later, 3 wide receivers out, offensive line decimated, defensive line injuries. And it's reflected in their record. They're having a tough year, a tough go at it this year. It's been a rough year for Purdue. And Wisconsin, they're still they still have a glimmer of getting into that big game with Minnesota possibly. So we'll see what happens. I mean, they might have not with Minnesota. They still have an outside shot possibly to get up top, for a big bowl game and a New Year's Six game. So I think this is a get-right game for Wisconsin here. They're playing in Madison. I think they're going to be a little bit more physical. Like I say, both Wisconsin plays real physical football, and both of their lines are beat up. So that's why I like Wisconsin.
Your final look on the card is the over in Michigan, Indiana. A big, big, big game. Big, big, big game on Saturday. Michigan opening up at -8. They're now up to -10. This total's moved in your direction. It opened at 52. It's now at 52.5 to 53.5. And you got in at 53. Why do you like the over here?
Indiana's offense has been surprisingly good this year. And I'm not a big proponent of backing Michigan as a favorite. I like them as dogs, even though the public and some of the sharps have kind of moved that direction on Michigan's side. So I think they're both going to score points here. I think it hits easily 50 points. I think it sails over 60.
Sails over 60. God, I find your looks very strong. And you went 5-1, 5-1, and then you've had 2 tougher weeks. I expect that you're seeing things very clearly this week, Ragoo, and I would bet heavily that you will be a plus unit week. I think I'm going to take some more time with your card. We have 2 more looks on DJ Big Boss's card. 2 more looks. We've gone over San Jose State. We've gone over App State. We've gone over the Colorado State, Wyoming under. We've gone over the Niners. The first look has been a heavily debated game. The first look of the last 2 has been a heavily debated game for us on betting with the bag, and I'm sure that you've seen it. It's this Hawaii spot, and the market's moving towards you with Hawaii here, and yet I'm kind of hesitant to roll with you. San Diego State, you know these teams so well, so why don't I just let you take it away? You're backing Hawaii. They opened up at -1. They're now at -3. Why are you on Hawaii here?
Now, let's back up, Jimmy. Let's go into the fact that my 2-unit play last week was on San Jose State, and they covered. Now, they did play early last week. They get an extra day rest, but they're going over to the island to play a Hawaii team. And one thing I noticed about teams right now that play a lot of good defense, if you get past them and they have to come back, it's difficult for them to score to come back. Now, this Hawaii team, they will not stop attacking. They will not stop scoring points. So Hawaii gets a little ahead of San Diego State. San Diego State struggles to come back, and Hawaii runs away with this win on the island. Hawaii, Cole McDaniels, I back him 100%. He's going to continue to throw the ball. If you look at all the numbers are kind of inflated, the guy throws the ball so much. But San Diego State has been struggling on defense. Now, we known them last year as a lockdown defense, especially in the secondary. They haven't been doing as well in the secondary this year. They face a Hawaii team that loves to throw the ball all over the field. And I think, I would probably lean the over, but the over is kind of high. But there's going to be a lot of throwing in this game. San Diego State will slip up a few times, and Hawaii will score. Hawaii, their defense is a little undervalued. They have a little defensive line. They can do some things. They can't play high, complex offenses, but simple offenses like San Diego State, they should be able to hold off to walk away with the victory by at least 10 points.
That's an argument that I think I'm going to back here. I find your college plays, both you and Ragoo, I mean, we see the stats speak for themselves, how strong you've been. So one thing that I love is when cappers fade their teams. And you're doing that on your last look. You're fading your Irish. You're taking Boston College here. Irish are 19-point favorites. This one really excites me, and we'll close the show on this. Boston College, Notre Dame, Big Boss. I'm about to pull the trigger on this. Give me a little bit more juice.
I'll give you all the juice, Jimmy. You know, first of all, let's go into Notre Dame versus teams in the ACC. We all know most sports at Notre Dame, we are in the ACC, but because of our football contract with the television, we are independent in football. Now, every time we see an ACC team, it's difficult because they're aiming for our head. They don't have any fear factor or nothing. They see this team all the time. It's not nothing to them. So they always aiming at us, and double digits against ACC teams. I always take the ACC teams. You want to get
Okay.
high hopes for in the beginning of the season. We've been taken out before by Boston College. They've beat us in some years to blow our seasons on all kinds.
All right, we're cutting. You know, it's funny. We're cutting out when about the most interesting argument I've ever wanted to hear. I want to back Boston College so bad with Big Boss fading his team, and he's speaking so eloquently too. He's speaking so like I just want to hear this so bad. I want to hear this so bad. Okay, we're back in action. Big Boss, man, you were rolling nice. So take it away and keep rolling. But go back about 30 seconds.
Oh, I'll start all over for you, Jimmy. This is an easy one for me. I always take the ACC team versus Notre Dame. Since we've been secretly having to play at least 5 ACC teams each year. So it's kind of like we're in their conference, but we're not in their conference. And because of that, you know, basically Notre Dame is holding off a TV contract because they don't want to share no money with the ACC. Although all of our other sports, we all do ACC in all of our other sports. So these teams, when we play them in the football season, they're not afraid of Notre Dame, the big team, whatever. You know, they played us in all the different sports. And double digits, I always take the ACC team versus Notre Dame. This is a spot, once again, we could take a loss. We had a better expectation of Boston College this year. They did fall below, you know, some of the standards, but they play good defense. They're disciplined just like we are, you know. So it's going to be a very disciplined game. 19 points is way too many. We're not going to get out there and really try to embarrass Boston College. We don't have a chance to get in the playoffs. What bowl we go to, it doesn't really matter. So we're not going to come out here with the efforts to beat these guys by 20 points, you know, in a game where we could just take the victory and just try to win out. Our biggest game is sitting at Stanford at the end of the season, which will probably, you know, be the toughest opponents we play, but it won't even mean nothing until what bowl we go to or whatever. So it's just a dead game right here with a Boston College team that has us 1 year in a good season. They were the team to come knock us out the box. So it's not like they can't beat us. And I don't take underdogs unless I think they may be able to win. And Boston College may be able to win against Notre Dame. They're in the ACC, and they're giving them double digits. I'm taking the 19 all day with Boston College is already in, Jim.
You know, I'm sold on the rest of both of your college football cards. I love the chance to break this down live. We only can do that because of you guys in the chat, you guys watching the show. That gives us the opportunity to do this. I'm very thankful to be back to this live Wednesday nights. We're going to be doing this every Wednesday night for the rest of the regular season. And I'm just thankful to run with you guys. I got so much love for all you guys, man. I mean, Big Boss and Ragoo, we become so much, close, really close over the last little while, and it will only become more so. These guys in the chat have become my friends for life, and just thankful to roll with you guys. It's not the sauce talking either. I want you guys to know that too. I don't need the sauce to talk like this. But drink in hand, joining us late. Drink in hand, I'm going to give this shot to you, Drink in hand. Thank you for joining us and being a part of this show. And we have no show without these great cappers on the chat. On behalf, this shot is, maybe you guys got shots yourself, but from Ragoo, Big Boss, my guy Rafa on the ones and twos, and myself, thank you guys so much for being a part of this. And JD Sportsnut, I was too shocked that they fired Babcock today. Oh, Saskatchewan-born Babcock. Oh, man. I'm happy we're back on Wednesday nights. DJ, Big Boss, Big Ragoo. Big Ragoo, any last words for these great cappers in the chat and those watching at home?
Yeah, a little parting shout out to the chat. Much love and respect. We love what you guys are all about. You guys are what make the show, like Jimmy says. We put our heads together, we grind it out, and we try to beat the juice. That's the name of the game. So we'll be back next week. And if you got any guys that you know that haven't joined the contest, please get in the contest because it's a lot of fun to have bragging rights. So hopefully you guys do well, and we'll see you at the window.
We will see you at the window. Man, that sounds good. DJ Big Boss, it's just a treat to run with you always on screen and off screen. Any last words for these great cappers?
Oh, man, for my guy Drink in hand, always remember it's always about balance when you have your drink. Well, see, mines are all empty, but, always keep a little drink balance with that. But, it's always a pleasure with Jimmy and my guy Big Ragoo. Thank God we're back on live because the other stuff was just basically frustrating me. I love the people. I love the chat. I love my low baggers. I love having them around. I don't care if it's 10 or 10,000. It's all good, man. And I appreciate being on the show with you, Jimmy. And, right back at it again. It's coming in the playoff. We got some good stuff going on right here. Let's keep it going.
Well said. I'm also going to put a new record up. The main thing that Peter Loshak, the legend Peter Loshak, taught me was that if you're transparent and honest, you need to start there. You start at transparency and honesty, and then you move forward and see whether you're good at things and break it down to the most minute angles, which is what I'm doing in NHL. That's coming out this week. Overs, unders, first periods, puck lines, minus ones, money lines, everything will be broken down in the most minute. But, the opportunity to do this with you guys, and I'm going to start a new record for this date moving forward in the NFL because I think if I can talk things out with you guys after Tuesday, in between Tuesday and Friday, I know I'm going to start cashing. On behalf of DJ Big Boss, Big Ragoo, Rafa, everybody here at SBR, and myself, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm excited. Every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, moving forward. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have no show without you guys. Kanaskat, Von Polo, Scott John. Scott John says, where did you get your life shirt you wear? Okay, I thought you were going to talk about my Boss in the Sauce shirt, man. I can tell you those, Scott John. Drink in hand, Chav, Joe Rich, Steve Overlay, No Request, Chris Sanitate, Brooklyn Funk Project, Jimmy Cece, Kanaskat, Chris Brady, JD Sportsnut, Joe Rich Ramirez, Nick O, Chav, Sonny Vega. All you guys, man. You're the reason why we're able to do this. Rob Stevenson. All you guys. Thank you guys so much on behalf of everybody here. We'll be back at it next Wednesday. And nice to be back live with my guys. We'll catch you guys next Wednesday, 7 p.m. And we'll be richer when we do.